Yeah, welcome to One India. I'm joined by Jignesh Mewani, the most talked about Dalit leader in Gujarat. So welcome to One India, Jignesh.
Thank you so
My
much.
first question is, there is roughly 7% Dalit population in Gujarat. How do you think this person is going to bring about a change in the upcoming election?
So one of the major roles that is played by the 7% Dalits and particularly by our group is that we are creating substantially anti-BJP climate. And that way we have been very successful. And this time the way it's going to be, Dalit, Patel, Muslim and OBC. That kind of voting pattern is going to emerge. And which will create a lot of trouble for the BJP. So though Dalits are just 7%, it will not remain 7%. Secondly, as far as I am concerned, my influence is just not among Dalits, it is also amongst youth, irrespective of whatever caste and religion. And I also done a lot of trade union, so I have a base in working class. I have been associated with various farmers groups, also with Hardik's teams. So I am also popular amongst Thakur of Alpesh Thakur and also Patels of Hardik Patel. So our impact is going to be beyond the caste we represent.
So because you're working on ground levels and we don't get to see more of that on the media, so can you tell us about the response that you're getting from the people in Gujarat and particularly the distressed class?
The response is like incredible, and wherever we go we get a lot of support. People start mobilizing. We have been continuously having Jan Sabhas and Mohalla Sabhas and meetings and all kind of demonstrations and agitations continuously for the past a year and a half. Hardik is doing it even greater. If I'm able to like mobilize 2,000 people, he'll be able to mobilize 10,000 people. So Hardik's movement is also going fantastic. Alpesh, though is now part of Congress, initially he's done like great things. And also the movement of Asha worker and Anganwadi ki Behne, that also has created a lot of impact. Government employees are also deeply frustrated. So Dalits are on the streets, OBCs, Patels, everybody is on the street. So it shows enormous amount of unrest. That is like, it's
We're going to talk. We're going to talk about the angst that you get to see in the people of Gujarat. So, can you just enlighten us about what are the frustrations, and from where is it all stemming out?
Yeah, it is primarily the outcome of the failure of the Gujarat model. This incredible amount of unrest reflects nothing but the fact that Gujarat model of development is a failure. It's not inclusive. It is not सबका साथ सबका विकास. It is just Adani or Ambani का साथ और जनता का विनाश. It is that kind of model. Dalits are treated badly. Enormous amount of various forms of untouchabilities are still found in the villages of Gujarat, even in urban pockets. Manual scavenging is very rampant. लोग गटर में उतर कर मर रहे हैं. Farmer suicides happens. Narmada canal network is not completed. Irrigation facilities are not provided to farmers. All the subsidy meant for the agrarian sector is handed over to corporate giant and industrial groups. So people are deeply frustrated, and therefore they are coming on the streets.
The atrocities you just spoke about, the government knows about it, but it is still very indifferent. Do you think this is a very well-intentional and deliberate move to enrich the atmosphere of polarization?
Yeah, it reflects the caste bias of the state. Even the promises, very petty kind of promises that were made by the then CM Anandiben Patel of Gujarat, even those are not fulfilled. Those promises are not implemented. Anandiben Patel then promised that we'll be giving 5 acres of land, government job, BPL card, housing plot. Nothing has happened. In a place called Thangad, which is in Surendranagar district, 3 Dalit boys, respectively 16, 17 and 21, were killed with AK-47 bullet only because they were part of a team which was on its way to register the offence of atrocity. They were meted out the previous day. It's been 5 years, no charge sheet. Thousands and thousands of acres of lands have been allotted to Dalits only on paper. Actual physical possession is not given. Even after decades, the possession is denied. And all these lands are wrongfully occupied and cultivated by feudal forces of the dominant caste people, which is an offence under IPC and atrocity both. Still, neither offence is registered nor possession is given. 165 से ज़्यादा लोग गटर में उतर कर मर गए. As per the guideline of the apex court, no compensation is provided. पटेल को आरक्षण नहीं दे सकते, ठीक है. उनके बहनों को घर में घुसकर घसीटते हुए मारना नहीं चाहिए था. उनके 14 लोगों को मार डाला. More than 1 lakh applications of Forest Rights Act are still not getting cleared. On Human Development Index, Gujarat is slipping down. 45% children are malnourished. In 65% case, Sub-center, PSC, CSC, district hospitals not having medical facilities and medical staff as per the Indian public health standard norms. So what kind of model of development you produce? And now the CD is coming up. What right you have to fix a camera in somebody's bedroom? It shows your filth. It's obnoxious. It's pathetic. It reflects your feudal medieval mentality. If you are not able to counter me politically, you will go to this extent.
So this is basically an act of surveillance which is being done.
Yeah, this is very serious kind of stalking and surveillance. This is worst. What right you have to enter into my bedroom? Counter me on the lines of what should be the model of development. It's my challenge.
And also that now right to privacy is a...
Of course, it goes without saying. Even if there are no Supreme Court ruling, even in the absence of Supreme Court judgments, right to privacy is a fundamental right. It's an integral part of right to life. Right to sex is also integral part of right to life. And whatever is happening with consent, it has to be cherished.
So, one question is that since we just spoke about how the Gujarat model is a failure, so in your mind, what is the alternative? Which political party do you think, apart from BJP, will be able to bring about a change? I'm not going to talk about Congress. It has been talked about a lot, but just for our audience, because a lot of talks are going on about your support to Congress. Just in brief, if you could, elaborate.
I'm not sure whether there is any mainstream political party which will be able to produce a great model of development, because most of the political parties who are into the mainstream arena are supporting the globalization, which is unleashed all kind of, be it ecological, environmental, economical, all kind of catastrophe. So the hope remains with the people's movement, and hopefully one day from the people's movement some alternative politics and some ism will emerge.
So now that you've said that you're not extending your support to any particular political party, I want to know your agenda. What are you going to do to bring about a change on the atrocities that is happening on the distressed classes, and why should people follow you, and especially the young generation?
See, the message for the young generation from my side is very simple and clear. As a nation, as a society, we were never in such deep trouble. What is looming large over our head is the threat of fascism. There is this fundamental difference between all the political parties, and BJP is this. All the political mainstream parties are having enormous amount of faults with them. But BJP is a fascist regime. It's a fascist party which cherishes the ideology of Hitler, Mussolini. They can go to any extent. Pansariji is killed. Dabholkarji is murdered. Gauri Lankesh, Bhaumik, Kalburgi. There is an attack on intellectuals, rationalists, journalists, activist people. So we are as a nation in deep trouble, and we must do every bit to stop this fascist force. This, of course, the way they have been able to spread themselves, they are deeply entrenched, having 40-50 lakh cadre, having roots since 1925. So not that easy to defeat fascism in India, but keeping BJP away from power, that itself will be a huge, massive interim relief for we the people, and we should strive for that.
Are you sure about the BJP defeat this time?
Yeah, in Gujarat they are gone. They will be wiped out.
And also I have one question. How ideologically compatible are you, Hardik and Alpesh, because you guys are associated together and often seen together?
There are contradictions between Patels and Dalits, Dalits and OBCs, between OBCs and Patels, between Hardik and me, between me and Hardik, between Hardik and Alpesh, between Alpesh and me. Still, we have been able to find one common enemy. And that is not for personal reason. That is because what they have subjected people to. That is because we all feel that we are all the victims of Gujarat model. So that is a uniting force. Otherwise, there are a lot of ideological differences as well. But going beyond those ideological differences, we have been able to come together for larger good is very important.
Are you doing anything for women development as well?
Yeah, of course, whenever we demand that land should be granted to landless people, we always say that the priority should be given to Dalit. And even amongst Dalit, priority be given to Valmiki women. And even amongst Valmiki women, the priority be given to widow Valmiki women. So that agenda is always there. But I would also not claim, despite of all the progressive things that I talk about, that I am not patriarchal. I must have imbibed n number of patriarchal notions, and I also need to get rid of those patriarchal values and notions. So it's a long process, and even in my core team there are like 2-3 Dalit leaders, Mahila leaders, but there should be more inclusive. It should be more inclusive from the women's point of view, so that more women's perspective comes in और हमारे भी थोड़ा कान पकड़े. So yeah, वो बेहद जरूरी है.
And finally, any plans for 2019? And if so, what are this?
Plan for 2019 is as simple as that. You know, हर कीमत पे इस संविधान विरोधी, लोकतंत्र विरोधी, फांसीवादी भाजपा को गिराना है. साथ साथ हमारी खुद की एक वैकल्पिक राजनीति की स्पेस भी खड़ी करनी है. ये है.
So that was Jignesh Nawani with us. Jignesh, thank you so much and all the best for your fight. Yeah. So that is it. Thank you for joining One India.